Passengers on board the cruise from hell have revealed the carnage was caused by some members of a big Italian family who provoked terrifying fist fights over 3 days. Several of the Barco family, from Melbourne, were kicked off the Carnival Legend cruise ship on Friday after shocking footage showed 30 passengers and security guards in a brutal brawl in the ship's nightclub. Upset passenger Lisa Bolitha said some members of the family spent a few days insulting and attacking Aussies, with people getting strangled and punched up. Scroll down for video. She said the full-on attacks were very violent and went on for 3 days. Ms. Bolitha said her son Jared was targeted by the family, with the pair fleeing and locking themselves in their cabin. "I was watching the fight and one guy came up to me and said, 'Do you want to go to bro?'" Jared said, adding the offenders were in their late teens and early 20s. One guy was having a smoke right next to the stairs on the top deck, he told Up News. Recalling the fight, 3 of the gang members came down and started attacking him for no reason. One was from behind strangling him. The guy on the left was punching him in the head and the right was just trying to rip his shirt off. "My mum had to drag me away from it all. They were trying to pick on any Aussie they could find." Ms. Bolitha said security staff ended up jumping the family and had no choice but to do so. "They deserved everything they got. They were the aggressors." She went on to question management's handling of the incident. The captain said, "What do you want me to do about it? Throw them overboard?" She said, "We dropped them off at Eden yesterday. But that was after 3 days of violence." Passenger Jacob Summers also questioned the security team's response to the violence. "I think the security made it worse. I saw security hit a younger girl who saw her mum getting hit. It's not good," he said. Other passengers remain blissfully unaware of the violence, describing their trip as fantastic. A NSW police investigation is now underway into the brawl, which was well into its 10-day cruise of the South Pacific. No one has been charged. Carnival Cruise Line said it was offering guests a 25% future cruise credit as a goodwill gesture, but some passengers rejected the offer. "I won't be traveling Carnival ever again, so a 25% off a future cruise in my eyes is unacceptable," passenger Mark Morrison said. To add insult to injury, they charged us a $19.54 credit card convenience fee to settle accounts before disembarkation this morning. Carnival General Manager Jennifer Van de Creek said there were limited and isolated events with the family in question in the lead-up to the brawl. "We sincerely apologize to our guests who were impacted by the disruptive behavior," she said in a statement. 6 men and 3 teenage boys, accompanied by family members, were taken ashore and then to Canberra, where they made other travel arrangements. According to police, Carnival Cruise Line has launched an internal investigation into the incident. It comes after the patriarch of the Barco family spoke to Daily Mail Australia to deny claims his relatives incited a bloodbath of violence on board the vessel. David Barco's 20-year-old son George was on board the Carnival Legend with other members of his family when groups of warring passengers engaged in violent clashes that left guests bruised and bloodied. Mr. Barco, who was not on the ship, said, "It's all lies. None of what is being said is true. It's all in the hands of our legal team. Members of my family are receiving medical attention at the hospital now." Daily Mail Australia is not suggesting George Barco was involved in the brawls. Shocking vision of fights erupting in a common area of the cruise ship showed several passengers locked in savage brawls. The film scuffle allegedly broke out while the ship was 220 kilometers off Jervis Bay, Australia, around 1 a.m. on Friday. One witness, named only Isaac, alleged the brawl started after 2 men tangled feet, leading to a bitter exchange of words between 2 family groups. It then allegedly escalated into an all-in brawl, with Zach accusing security of escalating the situation before allegedly piling into the foray with vicious kicks and punches. Mr. Barco told 3AW he received a frantic phone call from his injured son at 1 a.m. He said, "Please Dad, please Call the federal police, Mr. Barco said. I could hear a lot of screaming, crying in the background. Mr. Barco also alleges cruise security staff are attempting to destroy images and footage from the incident. He, George, said the security came in and took his phone and deleted a lot of images. He claimed after passengers complained they were forced to barricade themselves in cabins to avoid the shocking violence. The cruise made an unexpected stop on the NSW Victoria border to evict the group. Daily Mail Australia is not suggesting all members of the Barco family were involved in the brawl. They were as quiet as church mice on the drive, Mr. Pincini said. They were very battered and bruised, but there were no arguments. They were good as gold. Mr. Pincini said police officers did not escort the group to the airport and they were free to fly home without being detained. The remaining passengers have disembarked the ship in Melbourne, brimming with witness accounts of the alleged brawls. There were loud, disruptive people, but they kept to themselves. They weren't harming anyone else, one man told 7 News. I saw people getting hit and I was coming down the elevator at one point and the elevator opened and I saw a guy sitting down with blood all over him, another passenger said. Carnival Cruise Line Vice President and General Manager Australia, Jennifer Van de Kreek, also sincerely apologized to the guests impacted by the disruptive behavior. A spokesperson for Carnival Cruise Lines told Daily Mail Australia all guests have now disembarked from Carnival Legend in Melbourne following completion of their 10-day South Pacific cruise. Carnival Cruise Line has announced guests will be offered a 25% future cruise credit as a goodwill gesture. We sincerely regret that the unruly conduct and actions of the passengers removed from the ship in Eden yesterday may have prevented other guests from fully enjoying their cruise on Carnival Legend, said Ms. Van de Kreek. Carnival Cruise Line is conducting a full investigation to ensure that a situation such as this never happens again. A police operation investigating allegations of violence on board the Legend is ongoing and no arrests have been made.
Where the freaks at?